Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Getting to Know Saltillo class. My name is Jane Lindley. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just wanted to turn on my webcam and say hi. I'm a real person. I apologize ahead of time. My allergies are really terrible. So if I sneeze a lot during this just the pollen count is a little too high for me. But I didn't want to have you guys miss out on the wonderful information we're going to share today. So we have lots to go over. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. All right. So before we get started, I'd like to know who is here today. So my colleague Kim is going to launch a poll, and I'd appreciate it if you would just answer as close to possible, either speech person, speechies, teacher, paraprofessional or aide. Are you a parent? Are you an AT specialist? I'm curious who's joining us today. Oh, it looks like we've got 100% speechies. Wonderful. Maybe a couple more. Okay, wonderful. So welcome and thank you so much for joining us. Let's jump into some of the housekeeping. So here are a few housekeeping items to cover. First, if you didn't realize this already, you are muted. There may be times that I unmute you, but if you would like to mute yourself again, you can do so on the control panel. The control panel will look similar to one of these versions. It will depend on if you're using the desktop view for Windows or Mac, or if you're using the web version. In the desktop version, you will have the option to shrink and expand the control panel by using the orange arrow. You can also raise your hand to get my attention, or even better, type your question or comment into the chat window. My colleague Kim will be monitoring the chat window, and will be answering your questions as they come up. So I'm hoping at the end of the training we'll have some time to answer questions as well. It may also be helpful for you to know how to expand and collapse your control panel, because you might want to move the display windows around on your screen to accommodate everything you'll want to see. And finally, if you did not do so already, you can download your materials and handouts for today's training from the materials section. Okay, so just a little disclosure because this is offered for ASHA CEUs. This presentation will only focus on Saltillo products and applications and will not include information regarding other similar or related products or applications. I do need to disclose that I am an employee owner of Saltillo, and I'm also a member of ASHA, ASHA SIG 12, and USAC. If you're seeking ASHA credit, please submit your participation form within 15 days of your attendance today. Also, please include today's date on the training form. This will be how the training attendance is verified and recorded in our system. Your entrance and exit of the training is timestamped through GoToTraining, and you must stay online for the entire training in order to receive credit. All right, those flyers, those handouts I talked about, you can download them in our materials section. One is an outline of all of our AAC solutions. The other is a great handout that gives you some information about our technology, our vocabulary, and kind of what's new with Saltillo in 2019. Okay, so we wanted to streamline what we're offering at Saltillo into a 1-hour presentation that's quick, but a comprehensive overview of the products and services we provide. We will break everything down into 3 categories: the technology, the support, and the vocabulary. First, we will discuss our devices and the hardware within them. Next, we'll discuss the vocabulary files and give some examples and go through them live. And then we will discuss the excellent support resources that Saltillo provides. Finally, we'll circle back to the technology and discuss customization features on our devices. So here's a little a history of Saltillo. Saltillo has been in the AAC market for over 20 years, and our headquarters are in Worcester, Ohio. We have been a sister company to PRC for over 10 years, but then starting in October of 2018, we strengthened our forces even more, combining as one company, creatively named PRC Saltillo. As one company, we will have two brands, PRC and Saltillo, each continuing to offer its own unique and effective AAC solutions, differing in technology and vocabulary, but maintaining the same level of support. You may be familiar with PRC products like the Accent, Lamp Words for Life, and robust access options like iGaze. But today, our focus will be on Saltillo's suite of solutions. PRC Saltillo share an abundance of resources. One of the great advantages to this relationship is that we are able to share a lot of great resources, including the funding toolkit, AAC Language Lab, Realize Language, Center for AAC and Autism, and our app suite. We will review some of these today as they relate to Saltillo. Let's first talk about the technology, including our different device lines and hardware options. We will talk about the differences between them and which ones may be best for your specific clients. We offer 3 different lines of fundable AAC solutions. With each of our device lines, we keep the person who is using them in mind. We aim to provide a solution that is portable, reliable, affordable, and extremely user-friendly. We are always leveraging technology to make improvements that will support our mission of helping people communicate and interact. So when you are thinking about the technology from a bird's eye view, perhaps one of the biggest differences is the operating system. Our NovaChat and ChatFusion lines are built on Android, and the TouchChat Express is built on the iOS. The next major difference is the size of options, or the size options. All 3 lines are available in the 8 and 10-inch sizes. However, if you want or need a smaller or even a larger size, you're going to find that in the NovaChat line with our 5-inch NovaChat and the 12-inch NovaChat. We also want to consider alternative access options for our clients. Each of our fundable devices are equipped to support 1 or 2 switch scanning. While all devices support this feature, there are factors which make some product lines a better fit than others. Additionally, when head tracking is required, our ChatFusion line solely supports this feature. To give you an idea of what I mean when I say head tracking or head pointing, here's a short clip to show you what I mean. Let me make sure that my volume, oh, there's no volume.
I like it.
Okay, so head tracking allows an individual to access the screen without physically touching it. With the ChatFusion and ChatPoint, the individual affixes a reflective dot to glasses or their forehead, and the ChatPoint is able to read the head movement of the individual. Selections are made by simply dwelling on the target area or by activating a switch. Let's take one more look at the video.
I like it.
As you get to know each of our device lines, you will see their personalities shine through. If you look at our AAC Solutions flyer, you will note some of the differences. Let's look at NovaChat. When we think about confident communication, we want a device that is lightweight, durable, and portable throughout the day. This brings us to the NovaChat line. We introduced this line in 2011. It currently has 4 different sizes in the family. The size is the primary difference between each one. The devices are aptly named based on their size. So the NovaChat 12 is a 12-inch device, and so on. They are built on off-the-shelf Android tablets. They're packaged in hardware to include a protective rubber boot and hard plastic casing. There's a Bluetooth speaker to provide double the volume. Additionally, there's a pigtail charger with removable USB for charging and connecting to the computer to back up vocabulary files, which we'll review later. Additionally, the recently released at the beginning of this year, the active and classic wrap options are available for the NovaChat 8. This also offers a magnetic charge connection for the amplifier. Next, we have our accessible communication device, the ChatFusion line. These devices have integrated hardware for optimized alternative access, such as head tracking and scanning, making them accessible for a variety of individuals using AAC. These devices are custom built on an Android platform and come in an 8-inch and 12-inch size device. TouchChat Express is our final bundled product line. This device line combines the familiarity of the TouchChat app with iOS, but transforms an iPad into a dedicated device. It includes an iPad, either the iPad mini or iPad Air 2, the TouchChat with WordPower app, and our chat wrap case with kickstand, handle, speaker, and available keyguards. In many states, this is a fundable device through medical insurance. There are several accessories that come with our devices, some of which are included automatically depending on the funding source. We have keyguards, which are black and are for the NovaChat and ChatFusion devices. They match up for many popular vocabulary files. However, custom keyguards can be made for any vocabulary. They come fixed or hinged. Fixed or hinged. Now, the white keyguards are for the TouchChat Express and iPads using the TouchChat app. We also have touch guides, which are clear overlays for NovaChat and TouchChat Express devices only. Additionally, we have a USB backup drive. This is provided with all purchased devices. It's a dual-sided drive to plug into the charging port of a device and USB for the computer. For the ChatFusion, you have the option of a wireless base. Additionally, you can get ChatPoint. Now, with certain models of devices, you also get a carrying case, shoulder strap, and stylus. When we're talking about technology, the physical pieces, the app is more of a DIY, so it does not have as much of the technology side of things. It is available on iOS, so can be purchased directly through the App Store. It is eligible for bulk purchases through schools. We'll talk more about the app when we discuss vocabulary. Now, let's explore our vocabulary files within the chat software. All of the files we explore today are included on any of the device lines I just discussed. What is a vocabulary file? Well, a vocabulary file is a way of organizing language. Ideally, it is developed by someone with AAC experience. If you're familiar with other products, you might have heard or used terms like page sets or user files. There are a variety of terms used. At Saltillo, we refer to it as a vocabulary file. True to its mission, Saltillo has a wide variety of vocabulary files to meet the needs of a wide variety of people. One way to think about it is How will you or the person formulate the message they want to communicate? Now, there is no way we could cover all of these today, but my goal is for you to understand that we offer a lot of different vocabulary files based on the varying needs of individuals. As I talk quickly through each of these, jot down which ones you think might be a good match for the person or people who inspired you to learn more today. We have great online video tutorials that walk you through practice sentences to guide you through vocabularies. We also have additional trainings with emphasis on vocabulary. So let's think about someone who may have intact or developing literacy skills, and they want to spell to communicate their message. Well, we have a spelling vocabulary, and in certain word power files, specifically designed with a keyboard on the home page. Maybe someone needs more picture support and larger buttons or grammar support. Our phrase-based vocabularies such as multi-chat work great. These even come with 3 different age sets, which we'll talk about later. If your goal is quick, functional communication, a sentence-based vocabulary such as My Quick Chat might work great. For those of you familiar with core vocabulary, our word power suite offers robust language, each configuration with over 2,000 words. Finally, we have a few specialty files. These include our communication journey aphasia file, specifically designed for those who have lost language, as well as 4 different scanning files. It's also important to note that there is overlap too. One vocabulary file may include a keyboard, phrases, and sentences. After all, no one really fits into a box. In terms of how you can access each of these vocabulary options, you will see that we try to offer them across all of our technology options. Let's start with our NovaChat and ChatFusion fundable devices. When you purchase one of these, you have access to all the vocabularies mentioned previously. If we add on our other fundable device, the TouchChat Express, you will see that the only thing that changes is that Spanish vocabularies are included with the app and that we have some additional in-app purchases that can be made. If we move to our app-based AAC solutions, there are a few differences with regards to vocabulary. First, there are 2 price points. The AAC version is $149 and includes our phrase, sentence, and spelling-based vocabulary, but does not include our core word and word power files or our scanning files. The AAC with word power version adds the word power suite onto the app. Both versions of the app have the same in-app purchases as we saw with the TouchChat Express. Please know that word power can be added on for the TouchChat app if it wasn't initially purchased. Also, there's one version of TouchChat called TouchChat Lite that's available for $9.99. This will give you a good way to learn and explore the vocabularies. However, there will not be any voice output. We have lots of options when it comes to languages, including English, Spanish, Canadian French, German, and Dutch. Additionally, on the TouchChat Express and TouchChat app, Arabic and Hebrew are available. While we don't have time to review all the vocabulary files that Saltillo has to offer, I do want to cover the most important and popular ones. First, let's talk about word power. Word power was developed by Nancy Inman, an SLP with years of experience in the field of AAC. WordPower is a core word-based vocabulary system designed to be intuitive and easy to use. It takes advantage of the fact that a core of 100 words accounts for approximately 50% of words spoken in the English language. The predictive nature of the system allows for generation of novel information with minimal keystrokes. It also includes spelling. It has expanded over time and offers options for a wide range of ability levels. There are 11 different WordPower configurations ranging from 20 to 140 buttons. This allows us to provide core language solutions for clients with varying visual and motor skills. Versions have been designed for individuals using direct selection as well as scanning. Now that I've told you all about WordPower, let's look at one of the home pages. The home page is comprised primarily of core vocabulary words using a color coding system. So yellow are pronouns, green are verbs, and blue or turquoise are little words or prepositions. These words were selected based on core word lists, research, and clinical expertise. You can create a lot of generative language using just these words. In addition to the core words, the WordPower files have a lot of other great tools and features that really encourage and support communication and social interaction. Some fan favorites are the animal sounds page, as well as the early books page, or pages. There are a number of early literacy books that are included in a variety of our WordPower files. And this is a big hit, especially with our preschool and elementary teachers who are learning AAC for the first time. There are 3 WordPower files in Spanish: WordPower 48, WordPower 48 Español Básico, and WordPower 60 Español Básico. By using the profile feature, which is something we'll discuss later, you can create a mirror image of 2 vocabulary files in English and Spanish so that your user, your bilingual user, is able to toggle in between to speak with a variety of communication partners. Okay, so now I'm going to do a demo of WordPower 60 Basic so you can see it in action. My favorite color is green. My favorite color is green. What is yours? What is yours? I am going to the park. I am going to the park. Do you want to come? Do you want to come? NovaChat 15 was developed by our very own Elisa Barham, and it comes in 3 versions: student, adolescent, and adult. The original file was the student age file and is pictured here. The adolescent and adult files were developed later to reflect language that is important to each of these populations. For example, the adult file has an emergency page and more adult appropriate vocabulary. The primary changes will be noted in the bottom row of the content specific vocabulary. MultiChat 15 was developed with a certain population in mind, a population of clients who would benefit from phrase-based message formulation and more context-specific vocabulary. You'll notice that one of the great features of MultiChat is the logical next words feature. See, when you select I want, it navigates to a page with logical next words and so on. Let's take a look.
I want to play Legos. I don't want to watch TV. I need a break.
Available with 2.4 software update, Communication Journey Aphasia was developed by the Kaya Group out of Canada. It is based on the life participation approach for aphasia, which is a person-centered model of care, focusing on an individual's ability to more fully participate in meaningful life activities. This file is meant to be used as a communication ramp, providing access to a variety of communication options. As preferences and needs will vary greatly from person to person, customization will need to happen before a person is able to use it. Let's take a look. With Communication Journey Aphasia, there are options for conversational control and repair strategies. So something like,
Please don't interrupt our guest until I ask for help. It makes me forget what I want to say. Please be patient while I find my message. Please repeat your message more slowly.
also built in are scales for a variety of things, including pain scales, good, bad, difficult, and easy.
Very difficult. Very easy.
Additionally, there's a cool feature for maps, which is a really great way to personalize it for your client.
Cedar Boulevard. Elm Street. Coffee shop. It's around here. Coffee shop.
Our next files that we are going to cover are the scanning files. So for the basic and intermediate scan, these two files were developed by Lisa Noble Martin, a speech language pathologist, who specifically designed these for the ChatFusion and NovaChat. It was developed with a certain population in mind. So these two files, the basic file will show initially with only 2 buttons because it's meant to scaffold and build that learning. The intermediate file will have all 8 buttons on the home screen showing. Additionally, on the core words page, you'll see that there are more core words than in the basic file. Let me see if I can give you an idea of this. So the core words page for the basic file looks similar to this, looks like this. Whereas the intermediate file will have more core words included to add that level of novel generation of language. Another scanning file is WordPower 25 Touch and Scan. This is designed to be accessible via direct selection as well as scanning for quick and easy language generation. It incorporates carrier phrases with core words that move seamlessly between the main page and related categories. This is good for individuals with motor difficulties who might need larger buttons to access the screen. Finally, WordPower 140 Scan and Touch. This vocab file was designed for switch scanners in mind, though could be good for direct touch access users with good motor and visual abilities. Communication is meant to be fast and easy with less page navigations, utilizing word prediction. This is a video example of how the scanning patterns are pre-programmed for efficient communication. You'll see that the scanning pattern is similar to a block pattern. Now, let's talk about the support. Saltillo provides a variety of customer support options based on the product and AAC team's learning style. We will discuss the different support options for your client and your team. Our local consultants provide a variety of support with the main goal of making sure our clients are successful with their AAC systems. We can help from the beginning with evaluation trials and device demos, during the funding stage, and after the device is placed by training families and teams at schools or in the community. You can find your consultant by going to the website and searching based on your zip code. Some of the free trainings that we provide are available for ASHA CEUs. And we have a variety of topics, anywhere from beginner device programming to more advanced device programming, ChatEditor, implementation, goal writing, you name it, we've got it. Our tech support team knows the device inside and out. There are 3 ways to reach them: by phone, email, or live chat online. We also offer tech support for our Spanish-speaking families. Our website is an ever-growing place for implementation and tutorial resources. You can find it in these areas on the website. The chat corner is wonderful. If you've not been there, I highly recommend you go there and check it out. And as you signed up for this webinar today, we also have a number of video tutorials that are recorded for you to watch on demand. Also on our website, we have lots and lots of free implementation tools that you can download and start using right away. So anything from helping you to choose the vocabulary and the core words for any activity with our Choosing Core Vocabulary Activity First approach handout. We also have the I Feel When book, practice sentences to help you explore our vocabulary files, and a number of resources to support the Year of Core Words by Practical AAC. Not to mention, we have several free, yes, free low-tech communication board options to download on our website. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but they are free. They just cost about an hour, maybe an hour and a half of your hard-earned time printing, cutting, and laminating. Now, for our low-tech flip book, that's the one that will probably take the most time, but is well worth the effort. There's a YouTube video to show you how to put it together, as well as instructions included in the download. I highly recommend you, after this webinar, you go check it out and download your free low-tech communication boards today. Also on the website, you'll find the digital version of our wonderful implementation calendar. If you don't already have one, you can request one from your consultant. It's jam-packed with reading and extension activity ideas. So if you don't have one, I highly recommend you reach out to your consultant or go online and download yours today. We also provide additional tools to help your team be successful with any Saltillo product. These include the following programs and partnerships: ChatEditor, Realize Language, Unique Learning System News to You pages, Explore AAC, and the AAC Language Lab. Let's talk about each one in more detail. ChatEditor is the free companion program for the Saltillo line of devices, as well as the TouchChat application. It's only compatible with Windows operating system at this time. Now, you might be wondering, what can I use ChatEditor for? Well, it has many different functions. You can use it to customize the vocabulary without needing to have the device in hand. You can also back up or transfer vocabularies to the device or back to the computer and other devices. You can interact with the environment in a classroom or a group situation, and you can create visual supports by printing pages or using the button capture tool. As I mentioned, ChatEditor allows you to back up your client's personalized vocabulary. With the NovaChat and ChatFusion, you plug it in directly to the computer using the USB cable. But also, remember, you can use the USB drive that I showed you earlier to back up the system without the use of ChatEditor. Or you can use the drive to back up the vocabulary file and then plug into the computer without that USB cable. With TouchChat Express and the TouchChat app, you export the file via iTunes and then load it into ChatEditor import folder. ChatEditor is also compatible with most interactive whiteboards. This is a great opportunity to model, share a group lesson, and play a game with the entire class. Here's a video example of this feature in action.
The fox jumps over. Watch me first. You ready, Lo? Your eyes on me. That's eyes on me, because fox is kind of tricky on some of your devices. Fox. While some of you have to go to the next page. Fox. What am I listening for at the beginning? What letters are they? I'm listening for the fox jumps over. The fox jumps over. Your turn. Oh, you want to write it down? All right, go for it, friend. Ready? So now, jumps. Oh, good. I like how you went to the S on there. Jumps. Okay, honey. Okay, one more time, Bob. There you go. Nice job. Nice job. No, you read. This is right. He likes to put music. Yes. Because the Fox likes to listen to Connor likes to Nice job. Did you add a detail? Did you add detail? Yeah. We could say that he jumps over something. What is he jumping over? A log. A log. A log. So if you wanted to add a detail word, you could say jumps over the log. A log. I don't know, is it here? How about a stick? Stick. Over the stick. That's the detail that you got. That's okay, friends. I like thinking outside.
So if you weren't already convinced that ChatEditor is a wonderful tool, you're going to love this. It's my favorite feature of ChatEditor, and that's the capture tool. The capture tool in ChatEditor is great for creating materials, and it's super easy to use too. Simply turn it on, build a sentence, copy the picture pathway into a document, then print and be creative. There are many different ways you can use the visuals. For example, put them up around the room to label the environment and provide clues to the communication partners and the person using the device about things they could say. Or maybe put them into a PowerPoint and write a book using real pictures. This is a big hit. I highly recommend using the capture tool for your next AAC activity or project. With 2.1 software release, we added a new feature called data logging. Data logging has previously been called LAM on other devices. Basically, data logging is a record of the words and messages created by a person using an AAC device. Each purchased device comes with a free 1-year subscription to Realize Language. Saltillo has partnered with News2You and Unique Learning System. If you want more information about this, or to learn more about downloading pages for our current topics, check out our website. Also, don't forget that you can use the USB drive to transfer these downloadable files from your computer and move them onto your user's device. Starting in November in 2018, PRC Saltillo released a groundbreaking website to help families and those new to AAC understand the journey they are about to go on. Explore AAC is an interactive website designed to provide simple and clear information regarding AAC, starting with what AAC is and how it can be used all day long. This website is continually adding new information, so stay tuned. As we know, no two clients are the same. Therefore, every communication solution will require customization. Saltillo has always valued making things as easy as possible, and our customization is no exception. Today, I will not have time to review all of our customizations, but instead we'll highlight a few features a few of our features, and I'll even be able to show that to you on a device. Excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze. Oh, no. Okay. Before we begin, allow me to introduce you to the device showing. This is a NovaChat 8. The main screen displays the vocabulary and the buttons. Showing, you have one of our word power files. Excuse me, that sneeze is coming, I think. On the top is the speech display bar. This is where the message will go. You can tap it to speak the message as well. This can be further customized by making it bigger, increasing the number of lines, or even adding the icons into, or the images into the speech display bar. On the right of the speech display bar is an X. This will delete a word with one tap and clear if you hold it down. You can double tap to stop the speech as well. To adjust the volume, you could do that on the top of the device or on the side, depending on which device you're using. Some of the more important features that you might use most often are the back button, the home button, which will wake up the screen, and the menu button, which brings up the chat menu bar. Customizing and editing a vocabulary. So there are lots of things that you can do to customize a vocabulary file. You can add or change a button. You can change a button's style to highlight it and draw attention to them. You can add a whole new page using a template or creating one from scratch. You can hide and show buttons or adjust background colors for different visual needs. To edit any vocabulary, you must always make a copy and you must get into edit mode. I have already made a copy of a file. So when I show you, oops, you know what? I'll go ahead and show you how to copy a file. Okay, so I opened up a file, and now in order to do any editing, I must make a copy. So I can turn on edit mode, and it will say, would you like to make a copy for editing? And I say yes. Rename it with my name, save, and now we're ready to edit. Okay, so one thing that you can do to edit is a good place to start is the people page. So I'm going to go to people and I'm going to create a button that says Jane. I do that by pressing and holding on the button I want to edit. Tap edit button. Now I have a couple options here. The label is what shows on the button. The message is what goes in the speech display bar and what the device will say. So I'm going to tap right below label and I'm going to type in with a capital Jane. Now that's a pretty plain button right there. So I can do a couple of things. I could try and find an image in the library, even if I wanted to search Jane. Well, there is already a picture of me because I named it. But if I didn't do that, I could also just type in girl and search for a symbol that I could use for the button. Now, my hair is blonde and I love green, so I might just choose this symbol in the place of not having a picture. Or you can import a picture if you already have a picture on the device. Alternatively, you can take a picture. So I'm going to do that. So now I've turned on, you can see my ceiling fan. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture. Notice that's my face live right now. I hit OK. I can rename it Jane 1 because I know I already have one in there. And now I have a button with my picture on it. And that would be all fine to just leave it as is. But if I wanted to draw more attention to it, I could actually edit the style of the button. I can change the body, maybe orange or bright royal blue, something that really stands out, lime green maybe. I can change the font or the border color. Might be able to put a nice red or orange around it and then increase the border. Excuse me, I knew that sneeze was coming. increase the border width, all very easily from the Edit button menu. And now I have a customized button. All right, let's go back and check on. Okay. So as I said, in order to edit, you have to select menu and then turn on edit mode. That's how I got into edit mode. I'm going to briefly review some of the settings you can customize as well. So in addition to customizing the vocabulary, you can personalize the device even further by customizing the settings. Excuse me. When you select the settings icon in the menu bar, you are brought to the settings within the chat software. You will notice that you have a lot of options to help personalize your client's device. Now, for the sake of time, I want to point out a few of these and highlight why this might be important. Input in our settings is where you make changes related to the client's access. For instance, if you have someone who's going to be using scanning or head pointing, or if you need to adjust how the screen reacts to touch access with button timing, you can do all of these things under Input. Speech output is where you personalize the voice for your client. And we know voices are very personal. We have 2 speech synthesizers available on our devices. Ivona is our default, and it includes 12 English voices from which to choose, 7 of which are US, including 2 children and 1 teen voice. Acapella can be added onto the device for an additional fee. These include 24 US English voices, 7 of which are child voices. Acapella also offers vocal smileys. Now, keep in mind that certain funding sources may not pay for the added accessories. If you would like to be able to listen to the different voices, you can do so on the Ivona and Acapella websites. If you need to go in and change anything about the voice with our Ivona synthesizer, you're able to actually change and adjust the rate of the voice, which might also change the pitch. And you do that from selecting from the drop-down menu under Speech Output, Voice, Voice Settings, and selecting a voice. Now, let's say you have a word that the device or the synthesized voice is not pronouncing correctly. Well, you're in luck. You can also change the way the device says a word in pronunciations. Ooh. So vocal smileys I mentioned are available with Acapella, and they are a really fun feature that you can add to different acapella voices, and each acapella voice has different vocal smileys that they can do. So you can program these voices to have a more natural laugh, or be able to whistle, or say "arg." Let's see if we can hear the vocal smileys on this device. I love those. I think they're a lot of fun. Also under settings, you can turn on our word finder and menu lock. Now, I'm going to talk about menu lock in just a second, or word finder in just a second. But menu lock is a great feature to keep those curious fingers from accidentally getting and turning on edit mode, or getting into the settings and making changes that our clients might not even mean to do. So menu lock is a way to lock the user out of the chat menu bar, and it is password protected. Now, our word finder feature is wonderful to help you figure out if there is a word that is already in the vocabulary, so you don't have to program anything and everything. There are a few ways to use this, but one way is is in the chat menu bar. You enable it in settings, and then you're able to search for words and see if it's available in the vocabulary file. It will also give you the symbol pathway that teaches you what buttons to hit in order to find that word. Lastly, and probably one of the most beneficial features for our bilingual users, or even for someone who's using alternative access, is the profiles feature. Profiles are a feature of the NovaChat and ChatFusion, and just recently became available similarly on the TouchChat Express and TouchChat app. And this allows you to toggle between a different setting options or two different vocabulary files. As I said, this is commonly used when working with clients who speak more than one language or are using scanning and head tracking. And with that, we've come to the end of the training. If you still have questions, feel free to type them in the chat box or raise your hand and we can unmute you for questions. So let me see, do we have any questions? Doesn't look like we have any questions. No one has any questions out there? I've covered everything you've ever wanted to know. That's awesome. Good. Okay, so otherwise, for those wanting ASHA credit, be sure to complete the ASHA CEU participation form and submit it within 15 days. If you're looking for who your local consultant is, I recommend you head to the website. Actually, let me show you where you would be able to find that. So if you are on our website and you go to support and education, you should be able to go into enter your zip code to find your rep. So for me, I live in Tucson, Arizona. This is mine, and I can hit enter, and it would show you Jane Lindley and my contact information there. You're able to go on and find your own consultant in your territory, reach out to them, and get in touch with them for more information on any questions you might have with Saltillo after today. So you can also follow Saltillo on Twitter and Facebook, as well as YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate your time and participation. And if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to sign off and say goodbye. I hope you guys have a great weekend.